YuGiOh is a unique TCG.
Not only in gameplay mechanics, but in the fact it doesn't rotate out its card pool.
Because of this, certain cards that were deemed unplayable or overlooked at first have a chance to appear depending on new strategies and the modern meta.
On one hand, these cards just boost a deck's potential, but on the other, they can cheese out an easy win over the other player.
But what if YuGiOh had a restart?
Could this game be revised with the benefit of hindsight? If so, what would that game look like?
These are the questions we wish to answer. I'm Dakota.
And I'm Cody. Join us as we create custom packs based on the originals, but change certain rarities of cards as well as eliminating other cards to make sure their toxic behavior never sees a game mat.
Welcome to the YuGiOh Revision Series. How's it going, YouTube? We are back again with another episode of the Revision Series. I'm joined here, like always, with the Earthbound Immortal himself, Cody. Cody, how are you doing today?
Fantastic, buddy.
It's Monday morning here for us. It's a bit of a chilly one. I can feel it already.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting not wearing the cardigan for this recording, but it's fine. I'll live with it.
Yeah.
It's hot behind me.
Yeah.
And just so you know, I did choose the background for a reason.
That was quite the showing that you had last time.
Yeah, that was quite the ritual showing. Probably the last one like that we'll ever get.
Yeah, hopefully with this time around I can actually counter it properly if you decide to play it again, but we're getting some new cards, so maybe that won't be the case.
We are.
Before we get started, just want to say if you like the video, hit the like button down below, leave a comment. We want to see your guys' feedback. Also, hit the subscribe button. That way you can stay up to date for more content just like this. Help us reach our current goal of 100 subs so we can do a review of YuGiOh the movie. Now, with all that out of the way, let's just get right into the pack. Today's episode, we are doing Duelist Revolution. Was having a little bit of problems trying to get a bunch of these cards in here, so for today's episode, we are not doing 3 individual packs. I attempted twice to try to pull that off, and there was just more stuff that I wanted us to have potential to play around with. So we are going to do 100 packs, or no, we're going to do 100 cards for this pack. 100
packs.
We can open 100 packs.
100 packu. Monster cardo.
I want to get those monster cardos, man. There's a lot of good stuff in here. So instead of going down the rarities, I think for this episode, we're just going to individually highlight a singular card for each of us. Probably each of us just do 3 cards. The first card I wanted to highlight was a ultra rare in Scrap Dragon. So this card is inherently actually just pretty good. It's a generic level 8, surprisingly. It's fantastic in its own archetype when it comes to scraps, and just a pretty good staple on its own if you're able to make 8s in your deck. Being able to target a card you control and an opponent card and pop both.
Speaking of removal, the first card I'm highlighting is Chivalry, counter trap card. Activate only during the battle phase. When the effect of an opponent's effect monster is activated, negate the activation and destroy that card.
Very straight and simple to the point.
And it's nice that it's monster removal too, and not back row removal for once.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we definitely are still looking for some back row removal, but
we got that with other cards in this set.
The next card I wanted to highlight is Pot of Duality. This card is amazing. This card was originally a secret rare when this set released, and I'm not under the assumption that your typical staple card should be at extreme high rarity like that. I think Super's just fine. Even like rares, pretty good as well. So yeah, Pot of Duality. Excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, add one of those cards to your hand. You cannot special summon the turn you activate this card. Just a good way to freshen up your hand, look for the piece that you're looking for. This card's amazing.
Still sees some play up to today even. Speaking of another card that does that, Effect Veiler is my next highlight. So it's a 1-star tuner spellcaster. Its main effect is during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can send this card from hand to the graveyard, target one effect monster your opponent controls, negate the effects of that face-up monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn. Pretty good hand trap around this point in time. You know, just shut down an opponent's monster's effect for the whole turn.
Yeah. And I would say that it's so new that if you get hit by it, it might catch you off guard and just completely ruin your turn. Lastly, the card I wanted to highlight down into the comment section is Amazoness Willpower. This is a continuous trap that is essentially just called the Haunted for Amazons, but the rest of the set just has a bunch of other Amazon support cards as well. So just nice to see an archetype like that get some newer cards to play with, actually make it more viable.
And then highlighting the rares, I have Delta Flyer. Not much in terms of effect, but its effect is a pretty decent one. So he's a 3-star dragon tuner, but his effect is once per turn you can select one other face-up monster you control and increase his level by 1. Pretty good going into some synchro plays there.
Yeah, and him being a level 3 tuner is already just not that bad either.
Yeah, you got like a level 3 tuner out there, you got a level 4 card, you know, increases level by 1, suddenly you've got a level 8 synchro.
Or if, again, you just needed the level 3 tuner, go into 7s. Doesn't really matter what, but it is flexible.
Yeah.
So those are the cards we wanted to highlight. Just to run over some additional cards, we have a bunch of scrap stuff in here. We have some new Flamvels, Amazoness cards, some Watt cards. We have some new spell trap removal in Double Cyclone. You do have to pop one of your own cards, but you do out one of your opponent's cards. Inherently, just a lot of beast support in here as well. The beast stuff in here is actually very strange, the way that these effects are written. It's a lot about like removing your beast monsters to try to gain advantage on your opponent's turn possibly. But overall, what were your thoughts on this pack?
Yeah, I thought it was decent. Seeing some new intro cards like the ones we talked about were pretty cool. The introduction of like synchro fusions is interesting. I didn't really know they were a thing, honestly. Yes, seeing some scrap introductions, some more support there. Seeing some Naturia introduction, some more Amazoness support. There's quite a bit in this set.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of all the additional support cards we have, and just amazing staple cards that you can get from this. We didn't even talk about it, but Solemn Warning is in this pack as well. I know like most of the time we've been kind of playing Force back to try to deal with opponent's summons, but this being able to stop summons as well, but this time it goes to the grave, has a bigger cost, but it could be worth it as well. Yeah, overall, pretty good set. Yeah. What do you say, buddy? Get into the games?
Sure thing, dude.
All right, let's do it.
All right, guys, so last week we pretty handily beat Dakota with our demise ritual strategy. As you can see behind me currently, it is the end of the world. Lots of fire happening, lots of destruction, lots of chaos, lots of death. So I figured, why not stoke the fire a little more? You know, I haven't played fire in a very long time, and we got some new Flamvel support, so let's play fire again. To start off, we've got 3 copies of Battle Fader, 2 copies of Flamvel Archer. So this is a tuner, actually, 3-star tuner, which is nice. And then once per turn, I contribute a face-up Pyro-type monster I control to have all Flamvel monsters on the field gain 800 attack until the end phase. Flamvel Commando, 3 copies of him. He cannot be special summoned from Dog, which kind of sucks or by any means, and he can only be normal summoned by attributing 1 Flamvel monster I control. His effect, though, is once per turn you can remove from play a monster in your graveyard with 200 defense to inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. So example, I use Fire Dog to summon into Commando. I can then banish the Flamvel Fire Dog from the graveyard to burn him for 1900. Flamvel Fiend up next, 1 copy of him. When he does battle damage to the opponent, I inflict 200 damage to the opponent for each Pyro-type monster in their graveyard. Next up, the starter I really want to see, Flamvel Fire Dog, 3 copies of him. So he's 1900 for a 4-star, which is already good. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, special summon 1 fire monster with 200 or less defense from your deck except Flamvel Fire Dog. And that's all the Flamvels pretty much except for Fiend, and I guess Commando, because you can't do that. Next up, 3 copies of Flamvel Pound? I don't know how you say that, but when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 monster with 200 defense from deck to hand. Next up is 1 copy of Lava Golem. There is another in the side deck. Raging Flame Sprite, 3 copies of this. It starts off very weak, only 100 attack, but it can attack directly, and every time it successfully attacks directly, it gains 1000 attack. Solar Flare Dragon up next, also a pretty good card to start out with. While I control another power type monster, this card cannot be attacked, and during each of your end phases, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. UFO Turtle is next up. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, I can special summon 1 fire monster with 1500 or less attack from my deck in attack position. Going into the back row then, 2 copies of Enemy Controller, Heavy Storm, Molten Destruction, 3 copies. All fire monsters gain 500 attack and lose 400 defense. Monster Reborn, Solidarity, because most of my monsters are pyro, at least for the strategy, not all of them are, but a good number of them are that I figure I can play Solidarity comfortably and hopefully get a good 800 buff on them. Flamvel Counter, if I have a fire monster with 200 defense in the graveyard, anytime a spell or trap card is activated, I can negate the activation and then destroy it by banishing said fire monster. Force Back is back, Mirror Force is back, Ojama Trio is here just to clog up his board. Going into the side deck then, I only pulled 1 Effect Veiler, which isn't great, but I already have 3 Battle Faders, so I'll take what I can get. The second Lava Golem is here, 2 copies of Thestalos, this is another 1 tribute monster that when it's tribute summoned, it can discard a random card from the opponent's hand. If it's a monster, he takes damage equal to the monster's level times 100. For monsters, finally, we have Ultimate Baseball Kid. It gains 1,000 attack for each face-up fire monster on the field, which they all are, I believe, except for Battle Fader. And then I can send one face-up fire monster other than this card to the graveyard to inflict 500 damage to the opponent. I've got Bait Doll for some back row removal. Swords of Revealing Light in case you need to stall the game out a little further. Backfire if I'm in a losing state and a lot of my monsters are being taken from the field and destroyed. Dakota will get burned for 500 every time he does that. And finally, one copy of Chivalry. We talked about it at the top. Finally, now the extra deck, I've got Flame Ghost and Guiltia making a return, even though I don't have Instant Fusion anywhere in here. Black Rose Dragons, Dark Strike Fighter, Stardust, and Thought Ruler all make returns. I actually can go into them all. Yeah, so that's the deck. I'm playing with fire this time. Hopefully I won't get burned too hard. Hopefully I can burn Dakota. But you know how things go. So let's get out there and let's burn some bridges.
All right, guys, today's episode, I'm taking a blast from the past and I'm bringing back Black Wings. So I wanted to see how much the consistency that we did to hurt this deck really does hurt. I feel like the cards are still very powerful on their own. Consistency isn't just completely everything, especially when we're playing a slower format that we're in right now. But overall, from this last pack, we actually pulled pretty crazy when it comes to the staple cards. So to do the card by card, we're playing 3 Sirocco, 3 Shura, 2 Bora, 3 Kalute, 1 Gale because it's all we can play, 1 Blizzard, and I upped Vayu. This way I can get more options to get it into the graveyard potentially, whether I have to set it. You can use this card as a beater potentially, tribute fodder, whatever the case. I just want to try to get this card into the graveyard as fast as possible. One way to do that quickly is Dark Grepher. I could use this to pitch the Vayu or the Sirocco and then send the other version. I had to up the Obsidian Dragon. It just has pretty good defense and it protects the rest of my Black Wings. 3 Bait Doll, 2 copies of Pot of Duality. So this is part that's really crazy. This will actually hopefully help with the consistency that was lost with this deck to increase my chances of drawing the stuff that I'm looking for. 1 Whirlwind, 1 Heavy Storm, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Instant Fusion, 1 Premature Burial. For the traps, we only have 1 Force Back, 1 Compulse, 3 Wind Blast, 3 Raigeki Break, and 2 Fiendish Chain. Overall, I like how the deck looks with the even monster counts with the spells and traps. For the side deck, 3 Swords of Concealing Light for going second, 3 Offerings of the Doom for monster removal, 1 Enemy Controller, 2 Karma Cut, 2 Anti-Reverse just to out more back row if he is playing something that's very reliant on it, 1 Solemn Judgment, 1 Xing Zhang Hu, 1 Ring of Destruction, and Cyber Dragon also for going second. For the extra deck, it's the same that you've always been seeing, you know, Black Rose, Stardust, Thought Ruler, the fusions for instant fusion. So not too much to say about this. Again, I'm kind of just curious to see how much that this deck can still do even with the hits that we did to it. And honestly, I was just kind of like stuck in a situation where I didn't really know what to build. There's like some new archetypes that I wanted to try out with this newest set, but I just felt like the amount of ratios that I got for certain cards just wasn't quite enough. There are also like newer archetypes that I've never fully experienced, so I just thought that this deck is very strong and I actually know how it works. So it just felt like the safer pick. But I'm curious to see how this deck is going to perform, so let's just go ahead and get into the games. All right, buddy, here we are. Game 1, Duelist Revolution.
Yep, welcome to your end of the world.
Yeah. Man, I really hope you're not playing that again. You know, you need very specific cards to out a card that can just board wipe every turn.
Yeah.
You know, Force Back is not going to cut it.
If you could do it quickly, an effective burn strategy would do it, because then I can't pay the life point total.
Well, I feel like even then, it's like the cards would have to be the very right chainable burn cards because you're going to blow them up anyways. I'm going to lose everything. And with a deck like that, you just always need to be building advantage.
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
I'm curious.
Let's see what happens.
We will see what happens.
We already got an L today. Okay.
All right. I think probably it might still be safer to go first. So I'm going to try it out. Hopefully that doesn't screw up. This is okay, I think. Sure. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to just set a card and pass the turn.
Starting small. I like it.
Yep, same as last time. Drop the demise. Let's see it.
No. Stand by main.
All good.
Let's get in there with 2 sets, and then, how do I want to go about this? I'll just set a card.
Okay.
Pass turn.
All right. I will draw. We'll go standby to main. Let's start with a bait doll. We'll target this one.
Unfortunately, that will not resolve. So bye-bye.
Oh, you're playing Flamvels. He's playing Flamvels. Okay.
Bringing something new to the table.
All right, so this will go back. I'll shuffle.
I try to play conservative to not out my strategy right away, and you out it for me anyway.
Yeah, I think I will still end up playing fairly slow as well. So I'm just going to set another card and back to you.
Okay. Stand by to main.
All good.
I'm going to flip summon Raging Flame Sprite. I'm also going to activate, or not activate, I'm going to summon Solar Flare Dragon.
Ooh, okay.
Then I'm going to activate Molten Destruction.
Okay, that is fine.
I'm going to battle.
Sure.
I will declare a direct attack with Flame Sprite.
I will take 600.
And let's get a little offensive in there. Let's see what you've got set.
You're going to be running right into my Obsidian Dragon.
I'll take 100. All right. That's my turn then. And then you'll take 500 for Flare Dragon.
During the end phase? Right.
Yeah.
Let's go to main phase, if that's fine.
Okay. That's fine.
We're going to start with the top deck, Heavy Storm.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
No, go. It's okay. You can go now. Your time is up. There we go.
Oh, I'm glad that I wiped that out, because that would have ruined everything. Let's normal summon Shora.
Shora. Jesus.
You sure that's okay?
You got clobbered so hard to bring Black Wings back.
All right, so this is still at 11. That is at 15. It can't be attacked, so I have to out the Sprite first.
You have to out Flame Sprite first.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct!
So there's not much I can do about that in the current moment. A bit unfortunate. So we're just going to go battle. I'm going to swing into the Sprite, and then I will use the effect of Shora. Curious if I just go for Gale. I think that probably is the case. We'll go for the Gale. Not much I can do there. We'll go to main.
We'll see if the van list has changed anything here or not.
Are there any 7s that I actually want to have in this situation?
You could go Black Rose and blow up the board.
I'm fine with that. No.
Come on.
I think what I'll do is I'll flip summon another Obsidian Dragon.
Oh.
And I'll send
right.
these 2 to grave.
So you're
And,
going into a 7.
and I'll make the Armor Master. And I'm just going to pass on that.
Luckily, that has to attack for that to happen, but
Correct.
stand by to main. Well, first things first.
Okay.
I'm going to get a set down. Then I guess I'll just proceed end phase. You'll take 5
Yes, I will.
flare, and it is your turn.
All right. I will draw. We'll go standby to main. I honestly wish I just had more stuff I could be doing. I think I'd rather just see what it is that you're working with before I go too crazy. So I'm going to go battle, and we're going to run the Shora into the dragon. Now, do I want to use Shora again? I think I will. I'll grab a Vayu.
The other one.
I'll swing in with the Armor Master.
Okay, that is my Flamvel Pawn.
Okay, so you get to
So
add.
I get to add from deck to hand.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I think I'll pull Fire Dog.
Seems like a good option. 8 direct. From here, I will go main phase 2. I will set a card. That's going to be it for me.
Okay. Stand by to the main.
All good.
Let me do some quick math real quick.
Doing some quick math. Does that mean you can kill me?
Maybe.
Maybe. Is this going to be like a Flamvel end of the world or something?
Oh, I don't like that at all. I'm going to have to get aggressive here, I guess. Normal Fire Dog.
Okay.
I'll go straight to battle phase.
In the battle phase, I will activate Fiendish Chain, targeting dog.
Cool.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go. I will draw. We'll go standby to main. Honestly, there's still not a whole lot more that I can do, so I'm just going to go to the battle phase. I'm going to swing in with the Armor Master. We'll swing in for 18 and 8. Since the dog died, this dies. We'll go main phase 2. I'm just going to set another card and pass it back.
Stand by to main.
All good.
I'll set and pass.
End phase, I'm going to activate Raigeki Break, pitching a Vayu to blow up the set.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, you got no back. Oh, it's a recruiter. Holy shit. I mean, if you have Fader, you have Fader. So I'm just going to go for it. 25. He has the Fader. Okay.
The top deck did last turn.
Wow, okay. We'll go main phase 2. I really wish Vayu could do something on the field, but it just can't. So I'm just gonna switch this to defense. Yeah, I'll just pass.
And by domain.
All good.
Might not be ideal, but let's start main phase. I will sack off the Fader for Flamvel Fiend. Battle?
Sure.
I want that Shura off the field finally.
Yeah. So I'll take 3 initially, and then I take another 6.
6. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's see your other Shura since we didn't limit that.
We'll go standby to main. I don't have Shura, but I do have this. I'm going to normal summon Dark Greffer. I'm going to use his effect and pitch this Sirocco and send one from the deck. I'm going to go ahead and send another Vayu. And then from here, we're going to just use the Vayu. We're going to banish itself and the Sirocco, and we will make Armed Wing. I suppose from here, this should be enough already. Yeah, we'll go battle. We'll poke with the Armed Wing.
Yeah, it's more than enough.
And direct and direct. All right.
Yep.
Black Wings.
Yep.
They still got it.
Still overpowered.
Didn't even see the whirlwind. I don't think I actually have anything proper to side against a deck that you're playing, so I had a little bit of trouble deciding there.
If it helps you, I didn't have any plans to play against Blackwing again, so
You thought it was dead completely.
here we are. Here we are. Not dead completely. I just thought it'd be a while till we saw it again.
I had a feeling that even with only having 1 Gale and 1 Whirlwind, you know, that's mostly just a consistency hit, but the cards themselves are still very strong.
Okay, so it's my turn to pick.
It is your decision.
Do I give you setup and take a card, or do I set myself up?
I mean, that's how we played it out the first game.
We'll see. Make your move.
Oh, okay. All right.
YuGiOh boy.
We'll go to main phase. If I'm not mistaken, Flamvel has to destroy, like the dog, has to destroy a monster to use its effect.
I think so.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna pass.
Okay. Stand by to main.
It's all good.
I'm gonna start with an activation of Molten Destruction, followed by a normal summon of Flamvel Dog.
It's at a nice 2400.
That it is. Just proceed to the battle phase, and I will swing for 24.
The big chunk, I'll take it.
It is. Let's see if it pays off. Cotton.
We'll see. Standby to main. Okay, there's a couple ways I can go about this. Probably not what you want to hear, but it's true.
Usually not, no.
I think what I'll do is I'm going to special summon a Cyber Dragon. I'm going to normal summon Shura. I am going to go battle.
Okay.
I will activate enemy controller to switch dog to defense. I will swing over with Shura. I will use Shura's effect. I think we just go straight.
When's the last time you used enemy controller on me?
It's been a long time.
I didn't even remember you had that card.
I ended up having to craft the card, I remember. We will go for the Gale, and I will swing with Gale and 21 from Sidra. Let's go main phase 2. Send these 2 off, and I will make a Thought Ruler. I will set a card, pass it back.
Stand by to main.
All good. Ah, you motherfucker. Yep, that's fine. Distributing target.
Yeah. What a top deck.
Yeah, there was.
Unfortunately, though, it is at 3,500 though.
Yeah, that's true.
Because of Molten Destruction.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm about to fuck myself over by lava goleming you.
Wow. Oh my god. Oh, because you can't normal summon.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
All right, I will take the 1,000. I will go to main phase.
Well, if you can summon anything with 1,100, you win.
Oh, that's right. That's all I need. Yeah, normal summon Kalute battle phase. No battle fader. Let's go.
Yeah. God damn.
Wow. Man, I can't believe you fucking top deck Lava Golem.
And then it ended up costing me.
It's like, it's so crazy that even with the hits that we put on this deck, that I was still able to do the stuff that I was able to do. So
I mean, not really, because Shura is still very effective.
It is, but like the fact that we hit Gale, so like the only targets that you really have for sure that's good is Gale and maybe Vayu if you just want to try to get it into circulation if you don't have it in hand or graveyard yet. But like Vayu can't be used on the field as synchro material. You can't go for Blizzard because you can't be special summoned from the deck. So your only good target is really Gale, and Gale's at 1. So like once you cycle through the Gale, it's kind of just a lost cause. Like it's hard to recycle it.
It didn't really seem to affect you though, because you still had enough monsters to play out of that Gale anyway, both times.
It really only affects you if the games carry out long enough. Like if you end up having to play the grind game against Black Wings, now that we have like only Gale to 1, like it does kind of hurt. Like you can technically Blizzard for Gale, but the typical play is for Blizzard to go into a non-tuner to go into synchros instead of going for an additional tuner. I think the only reason that you would have is either you already have a non-tuner on the field when you summon the Blizzard, or you're just going to go for the Gale just to use his effect to cut a monster in half.
So I made the joke real quick before we started the dueling that when we did the 100 card pool joke, it was like, it's all monster cardo.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that's entirely what my hand is.
All monsters. Pound, Commando, Turtle, Pound.
It's all monster cardo.
Yeah, it is.
So once I hit you with lava golem, I was like, fuck, I can't do anything now.
I mean, Molten Destruction is still pretty crazy for a deck like this because you're turning these cards that are typically like high beaters but low defense into bigger beaters.
Yeah.
I mean, Dog becoming a 2400 beater just because of the field spell is pretty crazy. And like, you don't care about the defense because like the
recruits too.
Yeah, because like the defense for these cards, they don't matter. They weren't going to protect you from anything anyway. Honestly, I was actually thinking about playing this type of a deck for this episode, just because I've tried it before, or maybe I didn't try it before, but I've thought about doing it before. But we never really had like the proper tools to do it. But I do have the playsets of the Fire Dogs, which kind of like makes you kind of want to play a strategy like this. But I ran into the same situation that I did the last time too, where you have some cards that are just inherently kind of like burn cards, but then when you start leaning too much into the strategy, you kind of lose your potential in fitting in like more flexible tech cards. Like you probably don't have your room for like your typical like Raigeki breaks or, you know, monster removal cards, spell trap removal cards.
So not all of those, no. Yeah, I sided in some bait doll. Originally I had in that Flamvel trap card. That didn't really work out last time, so I'll use bait doll instead. I sided bait doll in. Horseback was always in here. Mirror Force was in here. That would have been dope to see Mirror Force.
Yeah.
Even though Jama Trio would have been nice to see just to clog up your board so you can't get all the Black Wings out here.
Yeah, I mean, because, well, what are they? They're level 2s?
Level 2, yeah.
There is actual potential that I could use them as synchro materials. They can't be attributed, but they can be used as material. The Fire Dog has mostly only ever been used as like an engine. We've talked about it before where like we still don't have access to kind of like the best Flamvel besides Dog because it's a tuner. I think like one of the newer ones that we just got is also a tuner.
Yeah, Archer.
Yeah, I think like the rest of it just doesn't really fit in terms of like how explosive it could be, but it's always been just played as like an engine. It just so happens to be like if you draw the Fire Dog, you can make an aggressive push, get a special from the deck, and then go into synchro plays during main phase 2. Yeah, even like establishing the Solar Flare lock with Molten Destruction and Solidarity, it's what, putting the Solar Flare to 2000 being to 28. So you have to out two 28 monsters that are both protecting each other, and they burn you for 1,000 during each end phase.
God, that would have been nice. What could have been? You got 2 pot of dualities?
I have 2 pot of dualities. Didn't get to see it in this episode, bit unfortunate, but oh yeah.
Didn't get a single one.
I pulled crazy for this episode.
Yeah, your Blackwing deck looks largely the same except for some tech cards.
So yeah, I sided in the Karma Cut. That wasn't main deck. Cyber Dragon wasn't main deck. Because of losing some of the cards, I upped the Obsidian Dragon and I upped Vayu. Even if I draw into Vayu, it's still a good discard for Greffer, and then like you send the Sirocco, so it just helps you like fuel it, or like you can just, if you're just trying to stay alive, you can just set the Vayu until you have it set up for a following turn.
So that's 4 wins now for Black Wings.
that is a 4th win for Black Wings.
1 after the hit. 3 of them are yours.
All right, buddy, here we are at the wheel again. Go ahead and take that first spin here for you. Oh my God, you better keep going. This is absurd. It's a wild card. This is unreal.
Man.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah, neither do I really. I think I've only not gotten the wild card, what, 2 or 3 times since we've implemented it?
I feel like that, yeah.
It's been at least 2, might be 3, but yeah.
And you've gotten it several times, even after losing the game.
Yeah, most of them actually, I think.
Jeez. Well, hopefully I'll get lucky depending on what it is that I land on. There's a lot of cards in this pack actually, so I might need to actually take a look around. Common/rare.
Sounds like a mulligan to me.
It could be, but part of the reason why I played Black Wings is just because I didn't get enough of certain cards.
But you could get a wild card.
I could end up getting a wild card, but if I get a wild card, I'm not picking anything from this pack probably, except for like a staple card. But there's like some older staples that I've been just waiting to get my hands on. Yeah, I think I will do the respin.
All right.
Come on, baby.
Yes.
Super Ultra. I will take that. I have to, but I will happily take that. Now, what to use it on? That's quite the question.
I mean, there's one card I can think of that I didn't see from you.
What's that?
Why would I tell?
You don't want to inspire me? Just in the supers alone, there's Potted Duality, Effect Veiler, and Solemn Warning.
You could get a set of duality.
Yeah, and the ultras, I could go for another type of staple in Scrap Dragon. So still not a wild card, but I'm completely happy with that compared to the pack that I get to choose from. But all in all, yeah, good pack, good games, I guess.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that you'd say that.
It was a bit too, it wasn't as bad as our last Too Fast recording, but it was a little bit like that.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's going to bring it into this episode. Thanks again for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. We want to see your guys' feedback. Also, consider hitting the subscription button. Stay up to date for more content just like this. Help us reach our current goal of 100 subs so we can do a review of Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie. Cody, same as always, closing thoughts?
Yeah, I named this deck 1776 after the whole revolution thing.
Oh, yeah?
For the pack. And, you know, like we celebrate what happened in 1776 every year, I went down in a bright blaze of glory.
Maybe you should have actually named it after the year the Hindenburg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
It's like, you know, you're driving past like a house fire and you know that's like someone's house burning down, but you can't look away.
Yeah.
You're just like, wow, that's fascinating. It sucks, but I'm drawn in like a moth to a flame.
Dr. Dre, he had the same problem too.
What?
Isn't there the Eminem song where he talks about there's Dre standing by a burned down house?